Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Good morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Well, look at this, guys. In a surprise turn of events, Bitcoin is up. It's been pumping over the last few hours now. Yesterday, we were tracking the Bitcoin price at $26,800. And within just the last few hours, not even 24 hours, we did see it rise. Right now, $27,700. You guys can see the move a little better here on the hourly. So a few hours for Bitcoin really does change a whole lot. Even down here, you guys can see that pump, that surge in volume. And, we're trying to figure out why the surge, why are we seeing this activity for Bitcoin? I mean, $1,000 in a few hours is a pretty good price move. However, over the grand scheme of things, zooming out, macro scene, we still have a lot of work to do, guys, to get up past $31,800. Of course, this has created a bit of a frenzy for altcoins. XRP is up a little bit, not performing as well as Bitcoin. But right now, XRP is trading in and around 49.3, so up from 48.7. You guys can see that pump reflected here. Let's just take a look at some other altcoins right now. We got Ethereum. Ethereum is up a little bit too. Continuing that trend, it looks like a positive move for that particular coin. Let's look at other coins that I hold, for example, like VeChain. VeChain, a bit of a mess on the hourly, but you guys can see here it is up as well. Algorand. Let's take a look at Algorand. Algorand is up a little bit too, although it did come back down here, losing about 50% of its gains. What about HBAR? HBAR up a little bit too. Again, I have these charts on the hourly. So, depending on the cryptocurrency, we're going to see more or less activity in that shorter time frame. So, I mean, Bitcoin price dictating where the rest of the market is going to go. And, we can see up here, total market cap now at about 1.08 trillion. So we've gained a little bit. Slowly but surely we're gaining. The 24-hour volume increase, though, 164.3% of an increase. And Bitcoin is the runner here. So 50.3% in terms of dominance. The altcoins are moving too, but obviously Bitcoin, there's something about Bitcoin that is getting the king crypto running first. So Bitcoin is up 3.32%. We've got Ethereum up a little bit, 1.83. BNB up 2.86. XRP is up 1.25. We got other coins like Solana up 4.72. Cardano is up 2%. Dogecoin's up 1%. And the fear and greed index, guys, right over here is in neutral territory. So 41. I think we're up a point since yesterday. I mean, it does not hurt that we've got guys like Anthony Scaramucci saying that Bitcoin could easily, not even saying this is a lofty estimate, but easily could reach a $15 trillion market cap. So he's gone on the record. He's the founding and managing partner of Skybridge Capital, and he continues to be bullish on Bitcoin. He now thinks Bitcoin could increase by a whopping 2,662% from its current market capitalization of around $543 billion. Guys, here's a quote. I think Bitcoin could easily be a $15 trillion asset. Scaramucci said on the OPTO, Invest in Innovation podcast last week, Bitcoin in many ways is more valuable than gold and could become a store of value. Scaramucci said, adding that because of those reasons, we own a lot of Bitcoin here. While Scaramucci, a former White House communications director under Donald Trump's presidency, is bullish on Bitcoin, he doesn't think it will become the universal standard of money, as some Bitcoin maximalists want to believe. Well, we know that. There are other cryptocurrencies that obviously can do it better than Bitcoin. Still, though, he says some weird things could happen where you could see nations that are hostile to the U.S. trading with Bitcoin or trading with gold-backed denominations, something or other, away from the U.S. dollar. So, I mean, some people will probably, some analysts will probably underestimate is not the word I'm looking for, underestimate Bitcoin in terms of what other countries could do if Bitcoin becomes a global standard. I mean, we already know there are countries like the BRICS countries. Some BRICS countries are already piling in on Bitcoin. Well, if they hold a lot of Bitcoin, they can do a lot with it. They can trade in it. They can decide to, go against the US dollar in that way. Even if it's not the best method to transfer value, they don't have to actually transfer on the Bitcoin blockchain. They can transfer on another blockchain, but utilize Bitcoin as that backing for whatever they're transferring. So that is a possibility too, right? To get away from the US dollar, de-dollarization. So this is what Anthony Scaramucci thinks. Of course, a $15 trillion market cap would bring Bitcoin up. Right now, it's at $541 billion, as you guys can see over here. And so 15 trillion, let's just do some quick math here. That's billion, trillion divided by 541, let's be precise, 7, 3, 4, Whoops. Okay, whatever. 7. It's changing at the drop of a hat, but I think you guys get the point. That is roughly 27.6x from where it is today. So today it's at $27,000, and so you multiply that by about another 27. $27,000, let's just say, times 27, could see a Bitcoin upwards of $729,000, guys. I mean, he's not given a timeline here, so this could happen, probably not this bull run, but it could happen perhaps once we start to see more integration for cryptos, more reasons why people would want to trade cryptocurrencies, even at a full fib. Right now, Bitcoin, and this is a lofty estimate, I'm going to say Bitcoin would reach a total of about $241,000 per coin, and that is if we do see the full 4.236. Anyway, some interesting news there, guys. We also have seen an extra 11,000 accounts created for XRP in 12 days. So total XRPL wallets surged to 4.812 million. And this is all happening in October alone. So last month and the month before, we did see an increase in XRP accounts. But guys, we're seeing even more steady growth with regards to hosted wallets, as we now have witnessed an additional 11,000 accounts in less than 2 weeks, amounting to 4.812 million total wallets. So that is the total amount of wallets. This according to information from the community-driven XRP analytics resource richlist.info. Data from the platform confirms that the XRP ledger now boasts 4.8 million wallets, representing an impressive surge over the past 12 days alone. So guys, this is since pretty much the beginning of October 2023. So the number of wallets, as we've said, you guys can see the surge in here. I will link this in the description if you want to take a closer look at that chart. The network crossed the much coveted threshold on October the 4th, 12 years after its inception. Since then, there has been a steady surge in hosted wallets. At the time of the Crypto Basics report, wallets on the XRPL specifically amounted to 4.8 million. The current figure is right there. I'm not going to repeat it again. And it indicates an addition of over 11,637 over the past 12 days to be exact. So that is huge. More XRP inflows, obviously more demand for wanting to accumulate XRP and probably accumulate fairly soon before we do see those bulls ramp up, before we do see that Bitcoin halving take place in April of next year, April 2024, guys. That is historically when we see Bitcoin move first, the first mover, and then we see the market continue to rise from there. So the last halving was somewhere in here in May of 2020. When we saw the market cap at around 246.67 billion. And after that halving, guys, we saw the market surge another over 1,000%, 1,100%, give or take. So investors are preparing, they're getting their XRPL wallets ready. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. Guys, another cryptocurrency making news is VeChain. They've just unveiled a new 311 million treasury and a strong commitment to revolutionizing the blockchain industry. So they've just unveiled their financial statements for the second quarter of 2023, painting a picture of solid performance and industry-defining ecosystem development. So VeChain's holdings, VeChain is a company that does hold other cryptos, guys. It does include BTC and ETH, and of course their VET token, stood at a towering 311 million. I got confused there because the comma was in the wrong place. 311 million, highlighting an innovation-driven company committed to providing value to its customer base. VeChain's second quarter expenses amounted to $19.5 million, encompassing different categories such as ecosystem development, advertisement, legal fees, and infrastructure. The company ensured the prudent use of costs as they were integral to its development. The prudency in using the finances underscored the company's business model, which involves curtailing wastage and profligacy. The company's inventiveness and shrewd technological advancements have endeared it to so many blockchain users and preceded many developments and productive partnerships during the period under review, guys. Again, VeChain, another one of those cryptocurrencies that I see personally as a double threat, very similar to XRP in that way. Well, I mean, maybe even a little different than XRP in that it was a big mover in the last bull run, whereas we didn't see XRP move as much, and that was due to the lawsuit. So maybe this time around we will see XRP move a little harder, hopefully. I mean, that's the theory. But VeChain, though, one of those high flyers, it's got fundamentals behind it. The technicals on the chart are amazing. It's at a low enough desirable price point right now, just about 1.5 cents, 94% off its high from the bull run. But guys, as per this report here, $311 million in treasury and committed to revolutionizing the blockchain industry. So they have plans, they have reserves, they have money behind them. And it is a company too that already has a whole bunch of partnerships. So thought that was interesting news. Wanted to keep moving, guys. Another one from Michael Branch, Revolut and PayPal and crypto companies ask for more time to attune to MICa. Now, we know Revolut is a Ripple partner, has been since 2018, but this is about more than that. This is, some of the big money movement players in the space want to be able to, follow MICa's direction over there in Europe, and are saying, okay, based on your new, frameworks, we might need some more time to implement them. So Revolut, PayPal, and crypto companies ask for a long transition time to comply with MICa. According to reports, it appears that fintech companies using cryptos are urging European institutions to allow them as much time as possible to comply with the rules. Specifically, it is members of the Electronic Money Association, so Ripple partner Revolut, PayPal, and other crypto companies that have directly asked the Department of Finance for the longest possible transition period. Essentially, MICa's new rules will apply to all European Union countries starting in December of 2024, so that's over a year away. Yet these companies are still finding it difficult to comply, I guess, for one reason or another, probably technical back-end reasons. MICa wants to standardize the licensing and regulation of crypto companies in Europe by introducing stricter AML requirements. In this regard, it appears that the maximum time after MICa comes into effect in which fintech firms will be able to continue operating is 18 months. However, this is a period that apparently can also be reduced. Here is the reason for the request. I was looking down here, like that 18-month window is pretty much the standard here. In this regard, Ireland has also reportedly stated that they need they need the full 18 months, maybe even more. A spokesperson for the organization has precisely said that during this time, CASPs and the regulator will have time to prepare for compliance and implementation of the new regime. So down here too, they highlight France as well. So, more crypto adoption means more teething pains, and these companies want to comply, so they want to do it right. And MICa is one of those first regulators that was out of the gate in Europe sooner than some regulations in the United States. So this is going to be probably, I don't want to say test grounds, but one of those, implementations that we're going to see for ourselves, see what works, see what doesn't. And I guess the benefit for that is that the United States can learn from these mistakes or learn from the teething pains that we're going to see over there in Europe, and maybe make it a bit easier for crypto companies, these CASPs, to do business in the United States. And hopefully by the time we get regulatory clarity in the United States, the integration will be a lot more seamless. Anyway, another one from Michael. Wanted to thank him for that. And Michael with another one, guys. This one has to do with the IMF. 1.7 trillion, is that trillion? Trillion dollar US budget deficit shattered in 2023 as IMF issues warnings on America's worrying and deteriorating fiscal trajectory. So more doom and gloom. We know the US spending has exceeded its revenue to the tune of more than $1 trillion. The data comes from newly released Congressional Budget Office report, which monitors the government's receipts and outlays for the 2023 fiscal year, which ran from October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023. The government's budget deficit for the last fiscal year surged to $1.7 trillion, $300 billion more than the budget shortfall recorded in 2022. So we're seeing more of a deficit. The increase in the federal budget deficit comes as the IMF, guys, the International Monetary Fund, expresses concern over the country's deteriorating fiscal situation. So the IMF has now even come out and called the US on their financial woes. Speaking at the 2023 World Economic Outlook, IMF Director Pierre Olivier calls on the US government to change its approach towards spending and taxes in the country. That deals with sticky inflation and high interest rates, guys. Here's a quote. Most worrying is the case of the United States, where fiscal deficits have deteriorated substantially in 2023. Fiscal policy in the U.S. should not be pro-cyclical, even less so at this stage of the inflation cycle. So we've been seeing a lot of inflation as of late. And so at this point in that cycle, we really should not be seeing more debt accrue. However, this is what we're seeing in the US. With lower growth, higher interest rates, and reduced fiscal space, structural reforms at the right time become key. So, the IMF is noticing this. They probably are also realizing that this is a good time, not just because of the US, but a good time to usher in tokenization, a new financial system, and literacy, education on this new financial system too, guys. I got to give credit to Cypress Domenicor here, a great video, which in fact highlights some of these IMF positions. Okay, guys, a brand new document from October 2023, Securing Low Inflation and Nurturing Potential Growth, Regional Economic Outlook from the IMF. The IMF specifically, those who have now identified the problem with the US deficit. So in this article, guys, I'm going to go down here, further down in the article. They make note of this, okay, adapting to new technologies. Now, we know the IMF already does have connections to Ripple, so I think that goes without saying. But down here, guys, just this month, adapting to new technologies is also a balancing act of building a workforce capable of adjusting to the rapidly changing world while protecting those who may be negatively affected by these technologies. This requires investing in human capital through comprehensive education strategies aimed at strengthening quality of education, equalizing access, and adapting existing programs to the new reality of the labor market. Further improvements in social safety nets, including by broadening their coverage and strengthening the issuance aspect of social programs, will be key to protect those negatively impacted by these changes and allow for a smoother green and digital transition. So they realize that there is going to be a transition, and they say that education is of utmost importance in order to get people onto a new digital framework. Many of these priorities will require government support and will need to be weaved in their medium-term fiscal plans without jeopardizing fiscal policy objectives. So all put out by the IMF, guys, in October 2023. So is it a coincidence that the Ripple Impact Seminar did happen in Toronto last week, October 12th to 13th, 2023? The UBRI Connects brings scholars, researchers, and thought leaders in the UBRI network to showcase blockchain initiatives, share knowledge, and inspire future research. So to educate more people getting connected on DLT technology. And if you scroll down here, you can see there's a list right down here of all the universities, guys, that participated in this event. So universities, obviously learning the technology, the Center for Education, Blockchain Technology, and of course, the Ripple event, Ripple Impact, sponsored by Ripple, to basically emphasize this exact point here, posted by the IMF just this month. So, all things are working in tandem to move blockchain to that next level, guys, getting people ready, because it's something, this big bang is going to be something that people are just not going to be ready for otherwise. So it's, it's kind of like, educating the big banks when, 5-6 years ago when Ripple had to go around, explain to banks, okay, this is crypto technology, but not in the way that you're used to, Bitcoin, fraud, scams, blah, blah, blah. In this case, this is a bigger education endeavor where you have to educate the public and not only educate the Western world, you have to educate everybody because they want everybody on this new technology. They want to bank the unbanked, so on and so forth. Which means we're getting closer to adoption, guys. Digital Assets Daily posted this. The 1 billion XRP unlocked from escrow by Ripple ends December 2023. Is this true? Are we going to see the escrow end? Are we getting that close? This from you today, guys. According to crypto data tracker Whale Alert, Ripple has unlocked another billion from escrow. This is from the beginning of the month. Obviously, we know XRP is released from escrow on the first of every month. So I was just kind of going over those numbers there. Ripple introduced the escrow system in December of 2017 to bring stability to the XRP market. The business set aside 55 billion XRP in a series of escrows, each containing 1 billion XRP to be released monthly over 55 months, according to the estimated time frame, though. The final tranche might be released in December of 2023. Now, I don't know where they're getting their information from. I had to look into this, though, just to make sure. And this is what I found, guys. David Schwartz on Quora from about 4 years ago. Okay, when somebody asked, how long will Ripple continue to release a billion XRP from its escrow account into the market every month? David Schwartz, first of all, corrects him, saying that's not what happens. The XRP ledger releases a billion XRP from Ripple's escrow account to Ripple every month. And then Ripple releases some of that XRP into the market, and a fraction is placed back into escrow. So the escrow happens automatically, it goes to Ripple, then Ripple releases it to the public. Because all transactions and state on the XRP ledger is public, everyone can see these transactions as they happen, so on and so forth. As of right now, Ripple has approximately 50.9 billion XRP in escrow. Remember, guys, this is from 4 years ago. And holds approximately 6.5 billion XRP out of escrow. Approximately 42.6 billion XRP is currently in circulation. You can also find a list of all Ripple's XRP escrows in their release dates. You can find them here, but unfortunately this link goes to Leonidas's defunct site xrparcade.com, which no longer exists. So what do we do in that case? Of course, we have to go to the Wayback Machine, and I just plugged in a random date here in May of 2021. As you guys can see, though, here's a list of all the escrows, all the release dates. And if we scroll down here, we can see, starting from January 2018, a million, and a lot of these have ended. But if we scroll down here, guys, you can see, and since this is from 2021, it stops there, the ones that we've already seen. But guys, these are the projected XRP escrow dates. Of course, we know it's happened so far in 2022 into 2023. But by 2023, the end of 2023, you would think we'd see the end, but we have not. It goes into 2024. So we're going to continue to see escrow being released in 2024. but then, guys, stops in 2025. So the fact of the matter remains, and this thesis is becoming stronger and stronger as the days go on. Is Ripple planning the real world utility, the real adoption at the height of the bull run when we see the market top in 2025? I mean, it makes a lot of sense considering we're going to have a lot more liquidity for XRP. More people are going to be trading. It would only make sense to see the spec price XRP rise in this market, but then couple that with real world utility. And who knows what could happen from there. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.